Robert Pickersgill is the longest-serving chairman of the People's National Party. A member of Parliament since 1989, he strode Jamaica's political stage with vigor for over 30 years. On September 17, the 77-year-old elder statesman was admitted to intensive care at the University Hospital of the West Indies after testing positive for COVID-19. We take a brief look at the man's life and accomplishments.
Born in Waltham Park Road in Kingston on February 26, 1943, Robert Pickersgill is the fourth of 6 boys and 2 girls. He spent his childhood years in Clarendon.
I went to the Chapelton Primary School and then to Clarendon College, where I spent, 6-7 years.
He pursued his tertiary education at the University of the West Indies, where he pursued a Bachelor of Arts degree and a diploma in education. He is a former chairman of the University of the West Indies Guild of Graduates and a former member of the Council of the University of the West Indies. The 1960s in Jamaica brought with it a wave of Pan-Africanism that fired strong debate for social equity and change. Mr. Pickersgill would be one of several youngsters who would be swept up in that wave and became inflamed with the need to effect change through public service. Thus, while at the university, he became involved in politics.
While I was an undergraduate at the University of the West Indies, there was a PNP organization and a JLP, and I recall very clearly now who were the members of the JLP and who were the members of the PNP. And the then Deputy Registrar, Mr. Eric Frater, who is now an attorney at law, invited a few of us to join the People's National Party. And it started formally then. I was always attracted to Norman Manley and to Michael Manley. And, well, I suppose Mr. Frater acted as a catalyst. So we started a group on campus, and that group was addressed on a number of occasions by popular PNP figures. I remember Dudley Thompson, I remember Michael Manley, Vernon Arnett, and even the late Right Excellent Norman Manley addressing us on campus. And then I was invited to my first conference at Ward Theatre to count the votes at a conference.
Mr. Pickersgill's career path began at the St. Jago High School in St. Catherine, where he taught English language, Spanish, and economics. He also taught at a number of other high schools in Kingston.
In the DPED course there, you had various teaching sessions at a number of schools. I remember Arden, KC, and Immaculate Conception, where we were told that, Franklin and myself were told that we were the first 2 male teachers to have taught there. I rather enjoyed it. Teaching is quite a profession.
He transitioned into the field of law while expanding his political involvement. He was the first chairman of the People's National Party PNP Youth Organization, and to date holds the distinction of being the longest-serving chairman of the PNP.
My name is Robert Pickersgill. I'm popularly called Bobby Pickersgill. I happen to be the proud chairman of our distinguished and noble party. I have the honor to represent Northwest St. Catherine, where what we say during this campaign is still nobody but Bobby. And that is so because of the record of performance.
A member of Parliament since 1989, Mr. Pickersgill served 6 consecutive terms as the Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Catherine. He served the country in various ministerial capacities, including as Minister of Water, Land, Environment, and Climate Change.
More than any other issue, climate change poses a direct threat to any and all attempts to achieve sustainable development and, by extension, our Vision 2030 goals. The Climate Change Division was established out of sheer necessity. The first-hand evidence of climate change really came from experiences of ordinary Jamaicans, more so the fisher folk. And all of that came together to say, well, you know, we had better to prepare to adapt and mitigate.
With the world staring down the barrel of changing weather patterns, He sought to make Jamaica and Jamaicans resilient in weathering the effects of climate change. He pushed for a climate change vulnerability study, prioritized measures to build institutional capacity for climate risk analysis, planning, and an adaptation and climate change action plan. In April 2020, the 77-year-old veteran politician appealed to his constituents in St. Catherine Northwest to abide by the restrictions the government announced to lessen the spread of the highly contagious coronavirus COVID-19. After having a long and distinguished political career, Robert Pickersgill bowed out of representational politics in August 2020. For the news on PBCJ, I'm Carol Francis.